A Way of Life is a coaching consultant company. We help people manage their career and business using astrology. Astrology is a holistic process that allows us to help people align with what they are passionate about. We provide the tools to build your personal development to live your best life. A Way of Life coaching consulting company. For a reading or coaching, call Keisha Reed at 781-602-0986. That's 781-602-0986. Or check our website, www.awayoflife.net. That's www.awayoflyse.net. A Way of Life is a coaching consultant company. Live your best life.
All right, peace family. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a good day so far. Happy Friday. It is Friday. I just wanted to, I'm grateful. Family, I'm really grateful. I have a lot to be grateful for. I've made a lot of changes in my life today that, it made it worth all the BS that I had to deal with, The struggle was real. It still is. Don't let me get up in here acting like it's over. It's not. I still got a lot of work to do. But I'm grateful today, family. I really am. And I hope that everybody else is feeling that energy as well. But anyway, welcome. Happy Friday. Good Friday it is. It is for me. I love and appreciate all of you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of A Way of Life. I am a career and business coach using astrology. Today, we will be discussing the full moon in Aquarius, which, by the way, very interesting that I learned something doing my research on this. Apparently, this is a full moon. Don't quote me on this, but I definitely heard somebody say it was a full moon. Only one person out of all the 1,500 other people that I listened to. Because we'll have another full moon at the end of August in Aquarius. Now, the degree will change, but I thought full moons were only considered full moons if you had the same full moon in the same month. But apparently it's the same full moon within a month's period of time. That's interesting. I love to hear other people's feedback on that. What you think? If you follow astrology and you know about them things, is it real? Do you agree? Where you at with that? Because I would really like to know. I thought that was very interesting. But yeah, man, I'm excited about this full moon. We will be repeating this energy at the end of August. So put your garments on, put your armor on, be ready. Don't be scared in these streets. Because this is going to be a tough full moon, family. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm laughing and being giddy right now because I'm really in a good mood. But the truth of the matter is this is going to bring up a lot of stuff for us. There are way too many oppositions in this full moon, and it's going to be a lot more reality checks. Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius. I don't know if anybody knows that, but Saturn is all about practical goal setting, and I think that's hard. I do. I just think it's going to be hard for us. So hopefully I won't be on here all day. This might be a little bit of a longer video than normal just because I wanted to try and add something at the end that I thought would be really kind of fun, because Aquarius is a trend-setting sign, and because it's a rebel, right? It's the revolutionary. It breaks chains and status quo. And so I took like a bunch of different things, trends that I seen that we're trying to break from, and we're going to talk about it and see like what can we do differently. But the real key here is to figure out where this is happening in your chart so that you know where it's happening for you in your life and what area of life. And sorry for the noise in the background, family. But if you need that information, if you want that information, don't hesitate to email me at info@awayoflife. And I will send you a chart showing you what area of life this is playing out for you, and so that you can do the work. All right. So before we jump into it, you already know I have announcements. So today is my first official talk show with Miss Tierra at A Day of Royalty on IG. If you're not following her, please check her out, family. We will be doing that on A Wine Way of Life. We're going to be talking about dating and relationships and self-care. I'm excited. I'm so excited. That's tonight at 7. Hope to see everybody there. And always, we have open enrollment until October for the Life Path Astrology class, where you can, exactly what I'm saying right now, what this whole live is getting ready to be about. You know, how can you learn about your knowledge of self here? And you can get all that information at our website at awayoflife.net, and email me, send me an email, or sign up and subscribe, and it'll send you the thing so that you can sign up, and I'll send you all the information and details on, you know, what you need to start, what you can do to start. And if you're not interested in taking a Life Path class, that's fine too. It's only 2 weeks, by the way. And you can just do coaching, one-on-one coaching. And so for all other astrological updates, please be sure to follow me on IG, and that is at awayoflife5. At awayoflife5. Jeez. So without further ado, family, let me get my notes up here. All right. So this full moon in Aquarius, I like to think of Aquarius that has 3 archetypes to it. The revolutionary, the genius, and the criminal. If you think of all the revolutionaries from the past, they all had a unique view of the world. It's the genius archetype for social change. Now, if there was a positive social change, they would get rewarded for it. And if not, they would be deemed criminals, quite literally. And Martin Luther King is one of them. Marcus Garvey. I mean, we have so many that we can name where we can see this archetype playing out, right? So Aquarius can suffer from rejection, betrayal, abandonment, and judgment because Aquarius resists the status quo of culture and family. Culture and family puts pressure on us to join the tribal instincts, which Aquarius hates. It resists because it's a freedom-seeking, independent sign. Just to put a little bit more context around that, I feel like what Aquarius really wants is, because Aquarius is about groups and your soul tribe too. So another way to think of that is that how do you be the individual, your individual self, without judgment, rejection, or betrayal in a group? And that's really, for me, that's really the challenge here, right? We need to find like-minded people on the same page as us, building on that idea. And that, I feel like, for the culture it's hard. I feel like that part has been really, really hard. It's hard to find people who are on the same page, who are really serious, who really want to change, and who are dedicated to doing the work that it takes to make change. I also think the reason for that is because we don't have the education behind how to really do that or be that, right? Because we have education that is surrounded around teaching us how to be consumers, which is, again, going back to the culture and the family pressures, right? I feel like the way we raise our families, the way we educate our children are not liberating. It's to go out, get a job, go out, go to college, get a job, and become great. And what if that's not what you want? So there may be a lot of people feeling alienated and judged for their raw individuality and what they want right now, right? Look at all the people who are quitting their jobs and how many people are, really up. I don't want to say upset, but like, why would you quit your job when you don't have a plan type deal, right? There's kind of that argument going on. The full moon in Aquarius is going to highlight these themes. We're going to be asking ourselves, where have I sacrificed much of who I am? Where can I be more of who I am? And where have I been brainwashed from culture and family? And I feel like that's going to be hard to separate from. Like I think I talked about this in another video. I don't even remember which one it was, but I used the example of Baby Boy. Is it Baby Boy? What was that movie Tyrese played in? Him and Taharji. I think that's how you say her name. I think it was Baby Boy, where he didn't want to break from the nest. He didn't want to grow up. He didn't want to go out and the culture, do what the pressures of the culture and the family wanted, or the expectations that they wanted for him, right? Such a great example. I'm pretty sure there are so many more, but that's the one that comes to my mind immediately, right? And he refused to grow up. And so I don't want to say that we're refusing to grow up. I don't think it's in quite in that way, but in that same way, I feel like it wasn't so much that he refused to grow up, but he refused to grow up to be what everybody expected him to be. He wanted to be who he wanted to be. And even to take it a step further, if we have certain expectations for our children to be who we want to be, we also have to set up the structures to implement that, right? And so if you don't have those, it's really hard to be like, okay, well, I expect you to do this when you're not teaching that. So there's kind of that thing playing out here, I think, on a pretty massive level. And I think a lot of people are seeing that and feeling that in all kinds of traumatic ways. And we're asking ourselves those tough questions on how to break free from that. We've all been influenced from outside pressures, which has created our personality, which is a lot of our downfall in this lifetime. Then we have our soul's needs evolving over lifetimes as well, which is our karma. So the process of finding your true self is seeking freedom from the outside distractions, which has created our current human personality, which isn't the real us. It's learned behavior, which is our ego. Wherever this is in your chart, this is where you're going to be asked to be more of your true self at. So mine is in my 5th house. And if you haven't caught my career videos, I did a video on the South Node in astrology. Check that out, because I break down the ancient understanding of what I'm talking about right now. Which, again, if you haven't signed up for my Life Path astrology class, you definitely want to sign up for that. This is what all I do, right? Is help you find your purpose using your birth chart. So this is very dedicated to you and your personal chart. And if you're not into taking courses, it's only 2 weeks. But if you don't want to do the course thing and you just want to do coaching, you can do it that way as well. But the idea is that we are here to fulfill our purpose in life. And I feel like the culture and the family structure are the distractions that keep us from that, especially when they don't teach us to authentically grow within our true self, right? And that's what I think I'm going to talk about for when we get further down. I'm going to start talking about a lot of the trends and how can we change those trends. So that's why I felt like this might be a little bit longer video than it needed to be. But I also thought it would be really fun to talk about those trends and how we're reacting to them, why we're reacting to them, and how can we change ourselves to break the chains from those actions, right? So, yeah. Check out that South Node and astrology video though, because I really break a lot of this stuff down. I think it'll be super helpful to this full moon specifically, and indulge in this while you have the energy and the support for it to even help you bring messages to see where you're being held back for your future goals. This full moon is reactivating the Saturn and square Uranus and Pluto that we had all last year. And Pluto intensifies our wounds from outside things and triggers us to help us transform. It's painful, it's ugly, and it hurts, but it's the process of healing. You know, that idea that the butterfly, the transformation between caterpillar and butterfly. I'm pretty sure if a butterfly can talk, they would tell you that shit hurt like hell. But look at how beautiful they come out, and they have beautiful colors, and you know, they got the wings, so they're free and they can fly. Who doesn't want that, right? I actually was thinking about this on a deeper level as a coach. And I keep thinking to myself that this time is really teaching us to evolve so that we can get to this idea of utopia, right? Because why is it all the time that the storyline has to be about going through hell to get to greatness? Like, why does that have to be a part of the process, right? And I was thinking to myself, like, is it possible that we can get to a point where we don't have to go through hell to get to greatness? And I talked about this in my last video, Uranus, Mars, and Saturn, T-square, that there is levels to change. And I don't think that we can ever change that particular process, that you have to go through something to get to a higher level. But I do think that we can change how painful it is by way of having a proper process in which we go through that. And that goes back to planning for retirement, your long-term and short-term goals, and having a philosophy and lifestyle around those things, and being obedient to those things. But I think it's really hard for us. Like, we as a culture, I feel like we have become addicted to the pain. And why is that? You know, why do we emphasize, give attention to, are fueled by the negativity in this world? And again, I'm going to talk more about that as we get down the bottom here. Like, we really need to address that issue. And so I think I've said this a lot of times, just because for me, this is something that I know that I have to learn throughout this process as a coach. And I'm really trying to get better at it, because I think I'm so practical minded that it always goes back to planning. And so lately, what I've been noticing is that it's not just about the plan at this juncture where we're at right now, in this culture, like right now in the moment, because we've been so distorted by the outside challenges that, you know, we got a lot of bad habits, right? And so at this point in time, we also got to take into account of the healing. And I'm not going to say that that's something that I've struggled with. It's just that I've surpassed that that, you know, like I've been through my pain and my struggle. So it's harder for me to come back down and be like, give me your hand. And you know, what are those healing procedures and modalities to help us even be able to get to the place where we can plan and set goals, you know? And that has been a challenge for me. I'd love to hear what other people think or feel about that. But I do want to say, because I am acknowledging that I do have the partnership with Miss Queen Dawn. If you haven't checked out our video on IG, generational healing, please, family, check it out. And she is like a wealth of different spiritual modalities to help you heal and uplift your spirits and build your confidence in this process that I think are just, she wows me every time. I'm just like, she's amazing to listen to. Her whole vibration is lit. And I hope that people really get something from that. So check her page out. I believe it's queendonspirit.com. Do not quote me on that. But if you check out the IG video, all her contact information is in there. And really go there to see what she does. So she'll be doing past life regression readings, and then I'll be doing the life path readings. And we're doing that together. It's a 2-hour session. I believe we're starting at $350 for the first month, and then after that, it's going to $550. So I'd love to, spread the word on that. But I think the challenge is that this is bringing up a lot of fear, a lot of our fears. You know, this thought process really keeps us from evolving. Fear is a lower vibration. They actually have something called, I don't know why when I think of this, it reminds me of the video game Zelda. Don't ask me why I even know about this stuff, because I don't. No, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the video game Zelda, but every time you play on that video game, it's like it's levels of that you have to beat, and every time you go through like any kind of challenges or fights or whatever, it shows the numbers moving up or down, you know, depending on what's happening to you in that game. And they actually have something, I think it's called vibrational healing readings. I forget. I'm so sorry. I don't remember the name, and it's all based off of numbers. This is such an Aquarian thing. And the numbers are based off of our vibration and what level we're at. And so the different numbers show us that fear, anger, and the highest vibration. You know, I don't know the recipe, but I don't know. That was such a random thought. I just thought that was so interesting that these things have vibrational numbers to them. So fear, being in that state, actually for one, it stops you from evolving, because it allows you to continuously be manipulated by those outside cultures, influences. There's also a lot of anger that's bringing down our vibration, and pride and judgment, which I found very interesting, family. Pride and judgment more than anything, especially again with that Neptune energy. It's more about healing, and trying to not see people as, and wherever they're at in their situation, that it's nobody's damn business. Shit, that's I'm trying to find the right words to explain it, but they are where they are. You don't have to like it, you don't have to agree with it, but what was that saying that I said? If it applies, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Like, okay, so what? let them be, let them go through their process. And if it's somebody that you, for whatever reason, it's hard for you to take or understand, then, you find somebody where you're more comfortable around. But you don't have to do that by way of being judgmental or, being so prideful, like, you're in a good place, and you don't need anybody, or this type of attitude here that I don't want to say you don't need anybody and you can do it on your own, but that you just perhaps feel like you're better than people. Those are lower vibrations as well. And believe it or not, you're still being influenced somehow, some way. So how do we work through these challenges? And before I go on any further, I want to make sure I got to check the chat. I'll be forgetting about Yeah, it was baby boy. Okay, thank you. How you doing, King? What's going on with you? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your time and energy this rising. It's so good to see you on here. Now, I don't know if you've subscribed. I do know your name. I think you said you don't like your name, so I won't say it. But I'm running a promotion for anybody who subscribes to the YouTube channel, that you have the opportunity to get a free reading or a free bottle of wine. So be sure to email me at info@awayoflife.net. And what I do every Sunday is I check that email to see who has subscribed, and I pull your name, and if you win, you get to pick and choose which one you want. So I just wanted to put that out there. But thank you so much for your time and energy. I love and appreciate you. All right. Now I'm going to go back to where I was at. So how do we work through these challenges? Follow your heart to your highest expression of self. Dare to break the chains of the status quo. Find out who you are and act on it. Plan for it. Set up your goals and don't deviate from the plan. Again, I talked about this in my Saturn, Uranus, Mars T-square video I just did Wednesday. And I even broke down, why I feel like that's so hard for us. Like, I feel like we don't know how to argue, right? Like, we don't know how to have a disagreement. And the uncomfortability of thinking about having to do that to even begin to stand up for yourself could be a trigger, and so even in that sense, you are avoiding stepping into your true self. And so I think the movie I used in that video was The Great Debate with Denzel Washington. I just thought that was such a great example of, for one, what they're not teaching us in school, right, is how to defend ourselves, how to speak appropriately, how to have an argument. That's all a debate is, but it's very elegantly put in that movie. He taught you how to stand in your power and what you believed, whatever your belief was. Have some facts behind it. Why do you believe this, and stand on that and present your facts. But it's not just about you, right? Because ultimately we're all here to learn how to relate with one another, whether that's marriage, relationships, dating, friendships, partnerships, business partnerships, family, whatever, right? So it takes two to tango. So you also have to listen to what other people have to say. You don't have to like it, but you can understand it, and perhaps maybe even find what you do like about what they say, where you two meet together and converse that way. And or again, you don't have to like it, but you also don't have to be negative, rude, and disrespectful and say, yeah, well, and you don't have to say anything. It's just nice chat. I appreciated your viewpoint, but perhaps that's just about as far as that conversation goes, and that's okay. And I think that's what we really struggle with today. And I also think that's more of the masculine energy. I feel like men do this a lot better than women do. And I think that it's something that, because women are like, quote unquote, the rulers of the world, we have to build up our confidence some way, somehow, to help us come back together as a collective, to build our men back up. I mean, again, it's two. The men have to want to do that, right? But somehow, some way, I still feel like within that relational piece that we all, again, have to heal to even be able to come together to hear that point in such a way where we can get there and start talking about action steps, right? To be on the same conscious, common goal that we want to challenge, to change. And how can we come together to make that change, right? So this full moon is highlighting something of that nature, that was connected, I think, specifically to the Great Conjunction last December. So something you could have been thinking about changing last December that took place. It was a new cycle that was beginning, some seeds that you planted perhaps, and Jupiter is going to come in and help you grow in this Aquarius area of your life, which I'm actually really, really excited about. The unfortunate piece about that is, that you have to be honest and realistic is, it could be highlighting something that's holding you back. It depends on where you're at in this process from your future goals. So I think it's going to be very liberating. And you can feel strongly and passionate about it, which, again, it depends on where you're at. This could be very volatile, or it can just be very liberating. But also, I think it's great that this is happening in Leo season. And the sun is in Leo. So it's in its own sign, because Leo's ruled by the sun. Focus more on that energy, right? The higher vibration of Leo, operating from the heart, your creative expression, what you need, what you want, what you desire, your personal will. What's your sense of self? And remember, the long term is the prize. I feel like we get so excited sometimes about, because this can be a very electric feeling, by the way, family. If you're not getting any sleep, you can thank this full moon for that, because it's zapping us. Aquarius literally rules electric, and we could be feeling anxious, I barely slept last night. I don't even know how I'm on here doing this live, to be honest with you. But I think sometimes we get so excited about this feeling because it's such a, it's up. It's an upward feeling. It's going to have you lit AF, okay? If you're in the right, in the higher vibration of this, you're going to be feeling really, really good about it, right? And I think the problem that can bring, the frustration of not being able to perhaps accomplish what you want right away, right? You might run into some challenges, blockages from Saturn, especially with Jupiter moving back into Aquarius. The government can be coming back with all them restrictions. And again, I'm going to talk more about that down below, the social restrictions, the censorship. I can think of 1,000 different things that could come up, perhaps, that might feel like they're blocking you from your growth, and that can be frustrating. And again, the best way to deal with that is to make sure that you are consistently pruning. That was another thing I talked about in that Saturn, Mars, Uranus, T-square video. Your garden, pruning your garden, consistently checking in on your goals, making sure that you're doing everything that you can. And when there comes a time that you can't, don't let that get to you. Take that as the universe saying, all right, you did your best you can for this juncture. take a break. Go spend time with your family, your friends. If you do junk TV, do some junk TV. Go out, eat. Whatever you do for leisure time, right? And honor that moment. Congratulate yourself for the small wins that you've made it this far. Tell yourself that you're beautiful and you're awesome, and all these things here. Make sure you're catering to your self-care. Right. And I think sometimes it's hard for us to forget that, because those blockages can often seem like failures, depending on what they are. And I'm going to give you an example, because this is actually really true for me right now, that I have some money coming to me and I haven't been able to get the money because I don't have my son's social security card. I actually lost it back in 2019, by the way. And yeah, it was 2019, just before the pandemic happened. And I still have yet been able to find that goddamn social security card. And because it happened just before the pandemic, when I actually needed it, what happened was I realized, oh shoot, I got to go through the process to get a new one, but it was a pandemic. And so, as you could imagine, how the heck was I supposed to do that if you couldn't go in anywhere? And it has been plaguing my life since 2019. I am still in the same situation, and to be quite frank, I want to kick something. But what I was not willing to do was put my ID in no damn mailbox. I was not going to do that. And so now that things are kind of opening up, I have an appointment to go in and get it, and I'm happier about that. But yeah, so that's my whole little my frustration about that. It's so annoying. So you can have things like this that are perhaps stopping you, that could feel like, I need that money to do stuff. And if I can't get it, how am I supposed to progress in my goals, right? So it's little things like that could come up. The lockdown could come up, going back to preventing us from perhaps doing things that it would be a lot easier to walk out the door and go make an appointment somewhere, as opposed to having to deal with it from online, when a lot of companies they're not prepared to do online stuff. So they're either not opening, or you're working remotely and things take forever, right? And perhaps, hopefully this time around, they've dealt with a lot of that and set up a lot of those structures so that it's not so annoying. But I don't know, family. I don't know if that's going to be a real thing just yet. I still think that we have a lot more work to do with that energy. So, let me just check the... Okay, I wanted to make sure there was no... Okay, no more chats. Okay, so, oops, I lost my... Why is this not working? Okay. All right. So, okay, so, yep, so the possibility for lockdown could come back. Business hours can change, which can be frustrating. Hopefully they change to shorter and not longer. I still don't know where we stand on that. I did find a couple of articles that I will be going over moving forward. Once I start doing a lot more career posts on my IG page, where I'll be talking about a lot of that. I found two very interesting YouTube videos, and I'm going to break them down and talk about them astrologically. So I think I heard that the housing market is not doing so well. And depending on what end you're on of that, by the way, family, is really going to make the difference, as opposed to how bad this can be. If you're somebody who has a house and has debts, obviously, this could be really bad. If you're just an investor in housing, they say, what do they say for investing? Buy the dip. So again, it depends on what angle you're at with all of this. The food shortage. I was listening to Dr. Boyce Watkins' financial channel, and he has two farmers that come on. They actually just did a live together yesterday, the day before, talking about the food shortage. And we could either look at this as a tragedy, or we can come together and put our heads together and come up with solutions. Like, family, can we please not be in the grocery stores trying to buy up all the food and then posting about toilet paper like that shit's cool? Like, come on, really? Like I said, we really need to challenge the things that we give our attention to. Instead of making sure competing like that and stealing all the food for yourself, like, can we come together with some solutions on how we can feed everybody? What ways are we going to come together as a community to make sure everybody can eat, and that if there is ever a shortage ever again, that we're good? So practicing how to learn how to make your own food. I think you don't have to have a garden to do that. They do have like different things that you can do to grow your food in the house. So you got to learn how to garden. You know what I mean? Um, uh, yeah. And they gave a few different things. I actually think they have a website that they gave and provided in that live that you can go and listen to and check them out, and to learn how to garden on their website. Yeah, I don't know why that reminded me of the show Queen Sugar. Anybody seen that show Queen Sugar on Oprah's thing? It's called Queen Sugar. It's a good damn show. So we're reevaluating our life, where we want to go, what matters. Wait a minute, before I continue with that statement. Sorry, family. Okay, I knew I was missing something. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure I was in the right damn place. So we're reevaluating our life, where we want to go, what matters to us, but aware what needs to be done, and the responsibility that it's going to take to get those things, what's required for next steps, and the journey ahead, and what to plan for. So on a global scale, issues around power, everything we were dealing with last year is going to come back up. So this is a second awakening for people to do something about it this time. Raise our frequency as a humanity and rise up. Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius, so the people are going to be fighting against the blockages and burdens from the government, and business closures could come out of this. So people are really going to have to find out what your purpose is, so that you can build on that and give back to the people. That's what this is really, really, really all about. What do you have to offer to make humanity great? Because we might need your services for something to survive with everything that's happening in the breakdown of this country. So pay attention to trends. Aquarius rules trends, reassessing our obligations personally and as a community. We might feel like our needs aren't being met. And I can't take this anymore and run away from things. That could be a good thing and a bad thing, as long as you're running away because you're running to greener pastures. But if you run away and you're avoiding it, don't do that. Don't do that. Try to find out what you're good at and turn that into a business or a service. So relationships could be ending. I am toxic masculinity. These are some of the trends that could be coming up. Another round of breakups or really bad turmoil in relationships so that you can get through or learn whatever lesson that Saturn is trying to teach you in your relationships. Toxic masculinity and femininity. I'm putting it out there. If we're going to talk about the masculine, we need to include the feminine. More people leaving work. The stock market is it's probably going to crash. But again, by the dip, figuring out what your purpose is. Critical race theory. This is a joke. I heard this, I think, a few different times now where they talked about critical race theory. And all critical race theory is, in my opinion, is allowing them to continuously teach our history when we shouldn't be doing that. How do you deal with that? This is simple. Homeschooling. Like, that hasn't been a really big topic. Allow that to be a thing. Don't be afraid of it. Find out where you can get people to teach the things that you want your children to know, not what they want your children to know. I think social media, again, with the censorship, is going to be coming up. But the thing that kills me about social media is the trends. So they got us running around here, coming together as groups to combat the algorithms. It's not real, family. You're still letting them control your life. Do not fall into these things. These are lower vibrations. Again, don't deviate from your plan, Saturn is saying. Forget whatever they're telling you the algorithm is. When you are doing what you're meant to do in this lifetime, the universe brings gifts. The universe is going to put you in front of the right people that need to find you. So again, if you're feeling like you're not getting enough business from people and things of that nature, leisure time to take your mind off it. Remember, focus on the longer term goal, that you're setting these things up, that that you've done the work to set this plan up for your betterment in retirement, for your generational wealth, for your children. Forget whatever it is they're selling, because you have to know that they are trying to distract us and keep us in this lower vibration. And anytime they can get a chance to do that, they've won. And now you're scrambling around here doing all this additional work, right? To keep up with the Joneses. That's not even freaking real. Enough is enough, right? And then you have the people who got 10,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000 likes and views on all the negativity. What are you giving your energy to? If you want to change the culture and what is popular, you certainly don't want to be posting on the video with the toxic masculinity and femininity. Why? Why are we even paying any of that any attention? First of all, why is that even in your timeline? Why are you even following them? Whatever you give your energy to is what you support and what's going to continue to be the narrative in your life. So how do you change that? Okay, follow more positive people who are going to tell you how to elevate your life, who are going to remind you to check your plan, who are going to tell you that you are beautiful, you are great, you are amazing, things of that nature. If we want to be the ones to change in this Aquarius revolutionary way, we have to stop feeding into the things that we've already been doing that we know are not working. I feel like there are so many different more things that I could say about that. But the truth of the matter is, whatever I did forget, you will see throughout the next month. Actually, I want to say even the next few months, because again, we have this full moon coming up at the end of August again. So the things that are coming up now are not going away. They're absolutely not going away. So what are you going to choose to do? Continue to follow the hurt and pain? Are you going to take a stand in your life and make a change? It's just that simple. You know, what are you going to do, family? Hey, Keish! Yes, I homeschool my daughter. Really? Oh, Keish. I just started homeschooling my son, and I got to be honest with you, it scares the crap out of me. He be watching these crazy TV shows. Yo, YouTube is off the chain. I have to steal the remote from him. I caught him watching some crazy stuff on my screen that I was just like, whoa, we are not doing that in 2021. But anyways, I've been on here running my lips for a while now. I'm sorry I missed you, Keish. You know, I be chatting, running my lips. But it's so good to see you here. Thank you so much for your time and energy. I appreciate you, Queen. But I'm wrapping up here. I really, really hope that we are challenging these trends. You know, that's the goal right now. Challenge the trends. Take a risk and do the opposite. I call America Opposite Day because everything that we should do to be on the right path is literally the opposite here in America. It's disgusting how they got us in here. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, it's scary, but I just call for help with other homeschooling parents. Yep, my sisters, thank God. Although I'm learning that they hate their job. Right? And I can see why now. As a parent, I have dedicated my life to making it easier if I am going to be dealing with any kind of teachers, that if I want something, first of all, I'm going to make sure that I implement that within my home as well. Because I have learned over the last year why teachers are the most awesomest people in the whole entire world. And I have been blessing and thanking my sisters all year. Like, I don't know how the hell we've gotten to 2020 without acknowledging teachers. Like, God bless you all. Because I literally lost it. No, it's okay. I will replay the mess. Okay. All right. Thank you, Keisha. I appreciate it. And leave any comments. I'm here for it. I want to know how we feel about these things and what trends are you challenging in your life. So, as always, family, I hope this information is helpful. I love and appreciate you. So sad I missed a lot. It's all good, Queen. It's all good, Queen. I love and appreciate you, and I hope y'all all have a blessed weekend. Peace. All right, I gotta change this.
A Way of Life is a coaching consultant company. We help people manage their career and business using astrology. Astrology is a holistic process that allows us to help people align with what they are passionate about. We provide the tools to build your personal development to live your best life. A Way of Life coaching consulting company. For a reading or coaching, call Keisha Reed at 781-602-0986. That's 781-602-0986. Or check our website, www.awayoflife.net. That's www.awayoflife.net. A Way of Life is a coaching consultant company. Live your best life.